Hey Crestwood, happy Wednesday to you. Hope you all are doing well today. It's April 15th, tax day. I know there are several accountants and people who work in that field in our congregation. I hope you all have survived to this point, and I hope that you get some rest after today. Today's like your Easter, but not in the joyous resurrection way. But anyway, I hope you make it through the day and get to rest after this. For the rest of you, I hope you're experiencing God's blessings on this day that God has given us. I'm excited to be with you to offer you this devotional for this Wednesday, April 15th. So I worshiped on Easter in a different way. A few days after Easter, after our service, I watched the worship service for KD's Christian Church, where Reverend Steph Wallace, who was recently our associate minister, left to go and be the senior pastor there. And I was very excited to watch her first Sunday leading her congregation. As you can imagine, she did an amazing job. Very warm, very personable, funny, done with such confidence and skill. Her sermon about quiet miracles was really touching and a great introduction of herself to the congregation. And I can just see the potential she has to continue to grow into that role, to grow into her ministry, to grow into her call as she leads this church forward. I was just so proud of her. And as I was watching it, I thought, Crestwood, we did that in a way. We are the ones who welcomed her and her family into this congregation, the ones who nurtured them, provided them a space to grow in their faith. We are the ones who said yes to her when she said, "Do you think I could go to seminary?" And not only affirmed her in doing that, but provided the funds for that to happen. We supported her, walked with her through her years of seminary into her graduation and her ordination as she served us, and then celebrated her as she left here to go and lead another church. And I don't want us to take that for granted. I don't want us to take that lightly. There are so few people going into ministry these days. There is a real crisis of pastoral leadership in not just Disciples of Christ, but really across denominations, because so many people are retiring and so few people are going into ministry. And yet we as a church have been consistent in our nurturing people's call and sponsoring them as they go to do that. Right now we have 3 people who are in seminary, either getting their Master's of Divinity or their doctoral degree. And it's amazing to me the way that we continue to nurture that, we continue to cultivate that. And I think that's something you really have to be intentional about. It used to be 20, 30, 40 years ago, someone wanted to be a minister because they felt that call, they would go through that process, because being a minister carried with it more prestige, more authority. It was something that people definitely felt a calling to do. That doesn't exist as much anymore. As the church's influence in culture has waned, as other jobs are seen as more lucrative or more successful, being a minister is something that you just don't see people doing as much. And so we have to be more intentional about nurturing that call in others. I know that one of the reasons I'm a minister is because someone looked at me and said, "Hey, you have the gifts for ministry." I know that's true for Steph as well. I'm sure that's true for Kelly, for Missy, for anyone who's serving in ministry. Their call comes partly because someone names those gifts in them. So I want to encourage us to look around, not just our congregation, but beyond, and identify, who do we see the gifts of ministry in? Who do we see as having the potential to serve God in this way? You never know who it might be. So many people going into ministry are second career folks, or going into ministry as they are retiring. It's no longer just exclusively reserved for, the person just out of college who goes into youth ministry. Anybody can be a minister. And so I want us to really look around our congregation and say, who do we see having those gifts? Who can we name those gifts in? And even if they don't go to seminary and become a minister, naming a gift in someone can help awaken something in them that then leads them to a new way of serving God. And I really want us to think about, who can we do that with? Who can we say in our congregation, in our lives, "Hey, I see gifts in you, and I think you would be a great minister, a great teacher, a great nurse, a great government worker," whatever it is. How are we naming gifts in people that we are then encouraging them to go and to put to use? Bible tells us we all have gifts from God. We all have gifts from the Holy Spirit. How are we living out those gifts in ways that honor the gift that God has given us and God's generosity, but also honor the call to use our gifts to serve other people? There are so many ways we can serve people in ministry, outside of ministry, in the church, outside of the church. But so many times those gifts don't get awakened until someone points at you and says, hey, I see that gift in you. Crestwood, you are so full of gifts, and I love to watch you serve. Let's name those gifts in someone else today. God bless you, Crestwood.